Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, taking a look at race number 7 at Gulfstream Park. We kick off the 20-cent Rainbow Six with the $150,000 Sunshine Millions Turf on Saturday. Our stakes coverage presented by DRF Bets. When you sign up for a new DRF Bets account, you'll have a $200 free bet waiting for you. No deposit required at drf.com/join when you use the promo code FREEBET09. Let's take a look at the field of runners going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf in the Sunshine Millions Turf. And I agree with the morning line. I think the 6 Enterprising is the horse to beat. 2-1 for the great Michael Maker. This horse comes off a win in the Millions Turf preview, beating a couple of these horses and doing it comfortably.
Yeah, he trailed throughout, rallied wide, finished well. There was not really a lot of pace signed on for him to run at. If you look at that, not just that fact. You draw a line through those 1.5 mile races, draw a line through the Arlington Million, then you're left with that good form that he had last spring and last winter down at the fairgrounds, back at Gulfstream. I mean, this horse makes all the sense in the world.
You don't even have to draw a line through the Arlington Million. He shocked everybody, finishing less than a length away from Eclipse finalist Beach Patrol at 80-1, earning a 100 Beyer speed figure. He's also trained by a great one. And Michael Maker, I have a formulator fact for the 6 Enterprising over the past 5 years. These are last out winners off a medium-sized layoff, older last out winners in turf routes, and as usual, Maker excels, 43%, 330 ROI. Do you think this horse is pace dependent? Because he's been close in the past.
Yeah, he's been close in the past. I think he's probably a little bit better coming from off the pace, but that doesn't mean that he can't win when he's a little bit closer. Again, I agree with you. I think he's strictly the horse to beat.
And there's our segue for the Timeform US pace projector for the Sunshine Millions Turf. We got the 2 Charlie Mops, a new Luch claim out there on the lead. And Charlie Mops, he don't need blinkers because he's fast enough already, but maybe the blinkers just sharpen his focus a little bit more. But boy, I look at these lines. He's consistent. He's always there. He just hasn't won since August 2016.
That's the only problem, is that he just doesn't like to get the job done. But at the same time, he is gutsy and gritty, and he wants to go on. And the minute somebody comes up to him, he's fighting as long as he can. I just don't think he's quite good enough.
Number 4 is Manchurian High, who won this race in 2015 and 2016 and is still kicking at the ripe old age of 10 and even conquered a new world in his most recent start. He won over hurdles. This is the kind of horse he needs. He needs pace.
I was going to say, they're going to need to be knocking heads early on for him to come with a big run. I don't know if he can still do it. His flat form prior to his excursions over the jumps was quite dreadful. I don't know, maybe that all of a sudden woke him up, but to me, he needs pace, and I don't know if he can get it.
Can't find a more consistent horse than the 5 Galleon Mast, who finished second to Enterprising in that Million Turf preview most recently. It might be better on the Gulfstream sod than at Gulfstream West. He's won his last 3 starts at Gulfstream Park, all of them stakes races. He's tactical enough. Arad Ortiz takes them out suspended. Tyler Gaffalione returns next week.
I think he had the worst go of it in the Millions preview than Enterprising. Enterprising, he did come from farther back, but he was able to save a little bit of ground. Galleon Mast was hung wide on both turns, and he came with his run, just got run down late. I think he's an honest horse. If he can get the jump on Enterprising like he did in that Millions preview, maybe he's got a shot.
Second Mate, the number 7, makes the second start of the form cycle and just popped a 90s Beyer speed figure at Tampa Bay against a solid horse like Scholar Athlete. This one has done good work at Gulfstream Park in the past. This is such a good race, nothing would surprise me.
No, I wouldn't be stunned at all, but at the same time, I just look and see that field. I wonder if the Beyer's a little bit inflated. Those are the co-highest last out with the 90, and you look and see Scholar Athlete, who won by a nose that day, came back and earned an 82 in the next start. The 7th place finisher did earn an 85 in the next start, but at the same time, I question the Tampa Bay race that he and Spring Up come out of.
Looking for a trainer play, how about the 3 Spring Up? Not only is he 4 for 7 lifetime at Gulfstream, 10 lifetime wins, 5 consecutive 90-plus Beyer speed figures. This is a Larry Ravelli move. We take a look at the formulator fact. Past 2 years, older turf routers going 3rd off the bench, 53% winners, a 464 ROI. This horse also has good tactical speed.
Yeah, he's rock solid. There's really nothing to knock about him. I mean, you go way back. He's a grade 1 placed runner. That was in the Eddie Reed back in 2014. He's honest. I don't know. Again, he is in the same mold for me as the other horse from Tampa. I just don't know if I trust the race.
Our top picks in this race bookend the field from a post position standpoint. Outside for Matt with the 8, Michael Maker Reclaim, Swagger Jagger.
Yeah, Swagger Jagger's a horse most recently was taken away from Maker in that race. Then they came back and grabbed him right back. Same owners, obviously, with Maker aboard. Jaramillo rode him. To me, I think the mile and an eighth is what got him in that most recent run, not necessarily that he wasn't as good as the other horses that he ran into. Charlie Mops, you see, he was in there. He ended up finishing third. His next start was an 81 buyer. The winner run time is just rock solid right now. He came back to win next out with a 96.
2 miles.
If you think that there's any sort of translation there, and again, that was a Maker horse as well, but if you think that there's some sort of comparison, like I say, 2 miles opposed to a mile and 16th, apples to oranges, but at least he was keeping good form and good company. I feel like Maker thought they were just getting him good when he got claimed away. They dip right back in. I know, again, there's also politics that are involved, and there's all sorts of different things. Jaramillo's been riding Enterprising. He's also been riding the outside horse Swagger Jagger. He stays aboard Swagger Jagger. I'm going to read a little bit into it, and guess what? I'm going to get a big number.
And you also love the pace protector.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
have him sitting off Charlie Mops.
Absolutely.
Charlie Mops is good, but
nice horse.
He has lost races in the past. Swagger Jagger might get a good trip. I'm going with the defending champion in this race, the number 1 Our Way, who won off a little bit of a layoff last time. He's coming off more time off this time. After winning the Sunshine Millions Turf, and you loved him that day, the day he beat Enterprising, they tried tougher horses. He was far from embarrassed in a couple of graded stakes races, and then he didn't fire off the bench in the Lures Stakes. It was just a disappointing performance, but against tougher horses. Black Type was in that race. He finished 6th. He came back to win 2 in a row. Buyers 98, 102, one of those graded. I love this inside post. I think that Jose Ortiz is going to break, sit 3rd in the pocket, and hope for a similar trip as last year in the Sunshine Million, sort of an in-out pace tracking, ground-saving trip early. 3-1 on the line, kind of light, but I have a feeling I'm probably going to have to accept it.
I think he appreciates getting back to this kind of company as well, where, you know what, you're right, he's been facing much better horses. If you think just class relief alone is enough to get him over the hump, then he makes all the sense in the world. The inside post should help his cause. I think in many ways he is one of, if not the horse to beat, other than Enterprising.
8561 for Matt, 137 for me in the $150,000 Sunshine Millions Turf, part of the Saturday Sunshine Millions card. $200 free bet when you sign up to DRF Bets. No deposit required. DRF.com/join. Promo code FREEBET09. Approximate post time for the Sunshine Millions Turf. Kicking off the Rainbow Six at Gulfstream, 3 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. Best of luck.